So recently, one of my friends, we were talking, and he asked me as far as some recommendations as far as fragrances. And so got me to thinking. And so I've got for you today fragrances, cologne fragrances that I will always recommend. All right, stick around. All right, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Kevin, and this is SmellGoodz. Appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you hanging out. Appreciate your clicking that button or whatever it was to get you into this video. Appreciate that. Listen, things are going well over here. We've hit over 3,000 subscribers, so appreciate all 3,000 plus of you that have come aboard. And for those that are checking it out maybe for the first time, appreciate you coming and checking out this latest video and all the other content that we've got on this channel. All right, so as I mentioned, one of my friends, one of my brothers really, he asked me as far as fragrances that I might recommend. And in that space, in that conversation, of course, it was, well, what do you like? What don't you like? But it got me thinking as far as just something to get out as far as a video for you guys. And something that might be helpful in your journey is 5 clone fragrances that I will always recommend. So these are 5 fragrances that are doing clones, covers, remixes, impressions of. They're doing that, and these are 5 that I'm always going to recommend. These are always going to be perpetually in that list of things that I'm like, yeah, you might want to check this out, you might want to check that out. All right, let's jump into it. First one up is one that for me was part of the start of my journey into fragrance. I've always been around fragrances, always had and enjoyed fragrances, but not to the level that you see behind me and the level that I am now. And part of that was due to, as far as when I jumped into this space, was that whole TikTok, I want to say TikTok triad, if you will, that kind of just sparked something as far as like Camera, Assad, and this one. Those were the 3 that I picked up and was like, oh, hey, we can do some things with this. So this one is a fragrance that for me, I'm always going to recommend it. It is one that for me takes the cake as far as being on par, really on par with the OG, what it's cloning, to the point where I don't plan on getting a bottle of the OG of this. I will probably just forever have this or keep something like this in my collection. Of course, I am talking about from Afnan. I am talking about 9 p.m. This is doing its take on Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultra Male. Does such a great job of it. Again, I will never tell you to not buy the OG of anything, but I will say for me, for Kevin, this is going to satisfy me as far as that itch, if you will, for Ultra Male. This right here is a great fragrance, great interpretation, great clone of it, and one that I will always recommend because it's just that good. So again, 9 p.m. by Afnan is going to be one that is always recommended. All right, another one that is going to always be recommended is one that I think is a great smell, great scent profile. It is very barbershoppy, if you will. It's kind of a nice fougere type of fragrance. This one, as far as this clone, is so close. I put it at the 98th percentile just because it's very close to the OG. It is something that I think is just, I appreciate this, love it, enjoy it, and will always probably have a bottle of this in my collection as well. This is from Joe Milano Game of Spades. This is Wildcard, and this is doing its take on Bond Number 9 Lafayette Street. And again, it just does such a good job. It's one of those that I'm always going to recommend. To me, it's just a nice mass appeal type of fragrance that will work in a variety of situations. This is good for suited and booted. This is good for jeans and t-shirt. This is good for hanging out. This is good for church. This is good for office. This is good for a variety of situations. It's just a great smelling scent, and one that will always be on my list of things that I will never stop recommending. Again, Game of Spades, Wildcard. All right. Next one up is one that this is especially for my folks that live where I live. This is something that I'm like, you need to have a bottle on hand, period. This is a great spring, summertime scent. What it's doing its take on is a scent that on its own is great is just a brother's not paying for it. I'm sorry. I'm not at that point. I'm not at that place where I plan on paying what the OG costs. If someone wants to gift me a bottle, listen, my address is down there, bottom there. Also, you can shoot me an email if you want to. Cool. But this is not something that I plan on purchasing as far as the OG. So therefore, what I do recommend, and what I am always going to have on my list of things to recommend as far as cologne fragrances, is going to be from Al Haramain. This is Amber Oud, and this is Aqua Dubai. This is its take on Louis Vuitton's Imagination. Not 100% there, but close enough and nice enough that I just think this is a great scent. Does the profile pretty well, and you can see by the dent. Again, I've only had this for maybe a couple months, maybe, and you can see the dent. And this is not just me in my office, in my studio spraying around. No, this is me wearing it to the work, wearing it to church, wearing it around. This is one that I wear. All right. So again, another one that I highly recommend is going to be Al Haramain Amber Oud Aqua Dubai. All right. Another one that I'm always going to recommend, that I'm always going to say you want to put your nose on, that I think it's a great scent profile and is one that has enough mass appeal that is definitely going to work in a variety of situations, is another one from the House of Lattafa. Actually, none of the other ones from Lattafa. So this is Lattafa, and this is their entry. This is Vintage Radio. This is their take on Paragon by Initio. To me, this is it's not a designer smelling scent. It is a nice scent, a little unique, but not unique enough where it's kind of like off-putting. To me, this works in a variety of situations, and it is what I would say bordering on mass appeal, right? Normally when I think of mass appeal fragrances, these are ones that anybody can jump into, and there's no explanation. It's a great scent. And I think that this is a great scent. I think this is something that, especially if you want to kind of step your game up a little, if you're in the cologne world, you want to step your game up a little and kind of think outside the box other than the latest Creed Aventus clone. This is something you probably want to put into your rotation. And so it is something that I will always recommend, and that is Vintage Radio by Lattafa from their Pride line. And then the last one, speaking of Creed, the last one is definitely, in my opinion, you got to have a Creed Aventus kind of a neighboring fragrance in there, right? I love the Aventus profile. I love that scent. I love that scent profile. Definitely something that works for me. And so the one that I will always recommend is going to be from Afnan. This is their Supremacy Collector's Edition that does a great take on Absolute Aventus by Creed. Does a little, to me, I think this is a little twist on it, but does a great and phenomenal job, and something that I'm going to always recommend. This is one that I'm going to say, if you have not gotten your nose on this, get your nose on it. If you have not gotten a bottle of it, grab a bottle. This is just that good for me. And I think it's going to be something that is going to be highly recommended all the time that I'm in this fragrance space. Even when your boy is rocking 94, I'll probably be recommending this, among other stuff, because other stuff will come out. But yeah, this is that type of a fragrance. Again, Supremacy from Afnan, and this is Collector's Edition. That's going to be it. So those are my 5 fragrances. I'll probably do a part 2 of this, but those are my 5 fragrances that I'm going to always recommend. I might do a combination of designer and niche as far as other fragrances that I would always recommend, but I think that's a good list. Let me know your thoughts. As always, stay safe, stay sane, stay smelling good. Do me the honor, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that request notifications, and share. And then YouTube showing you a video here that you may want to check out, and I've got a video here that you may want to check out. Either way, see you next time. Have a great one. Be blessed. Peace.